Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Ooh, yes, here we go. We hopped up on that bus. Bird, chill, hide, Roger and Law, we crushing friendly Gus. Bulldog vision, all these boys see is red. What a crappy life, R.I.P. Ed. Heights GMC, you're collecting all the dust. We want the smoke, so come fired up with
What's
us.
going on,
That
everyone?
boy
Welcome
MT,
to
yeah, he
another
always
episode
calling
of the
problems.
Big
Okay,
Ugly
you were going
Sports Show,
hot,
brought to
looking
you
like
by
a
Premier
goblin.
Properties of Dublin.
Never met a
We are your
dude
first
like
and only
Nick,
source
so
for
proud.
mediocre, below
Can't
average
hear a
sports
thing 'cause
coverage.
he always talking
We are
loud.
glad you're here
Chill
with us
swear
this
he
morning.
fired, but
We've got a
that time is
table
weak.
full.
He really
My
just
name is
blowed
Chill.
that he need the hairpiece.
Let's meet the
Yeah,
rest of the
I'm back
gang.
now. Yeah, they call me Big.
Sitting to my right, he is a UGA graduate and a diehard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. He only cares about his golf ball. I'm talking about the one and only pride of Buddy Johnson Road, Mr. Adam Hightower.
Man, what a pleasure to be here today. So happy.
And while we got the Georgia fight song going, we'll go ahead and introduce the guy to his right. He looks like chewed up bubble gum with his shirt off. Nobody dries out a brisket like him. Best known for bragging about his humility. And people on Buddy Johnson have no idea who he is. I'm talking about Matt Opie Hightower.
This is a lot of energy coming from you.
It's early in the morning, so
Is that not what we need?
No,
That's
that's
exactly
great. I
what we
love
need.
it. I love it.
And then sitting. There it is. Sitting to my left. He had a cup of coffee in the Marines. They call him short story long. Survives daily off of 5-hour energy shots. 0% research, 100% passion. Mr. War Eagle for life. I'm talking about Mitch the Bear Lawhorn.
good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Coming off a great,
Veterans.
not veterans, Marine Corps birthday. Coming off a great week of Marine Corps birthday weekend.
Week of? I mean, whole week?
Well, yeah, it's like my birthday month, birthday month for Meredith.
How about that Veterans Day picture they posted of you?
That got handsome.
That's
Got a lot of comments and likes on
I
Facebook
felt something.
and
But you-
Instagram.
I
I'm
felt
two of
something.
that fella now.
But I
least-
looked at that photo, and I just imagine like underneath where I can't see your hands, there's a cig burner.
and a
you had-
lottery ticket.
Here you go,
Here we
Jeremy.
go.
And you
Here
had
we go.
just like
Here
took
we
in
go.
a
Hey, listen.
deep breath off that heater.
Here we are.
Listen, hey, somebody told me I saw Miss Stacy Sanders yesterday, and she had been to the principal meeting yesterday
We have the same
morning.
birthday. You know,
Yeah, that's
Birthday twin.
congratulations. But I saw her yesterday, and she had been at the principal's meeting that morning, where all the principals in the county they meet like once a month or something. And Big Brother FaceTimed into this one. And so he tells Reed's in there. And so in front of everybody, he's like, "Hey, Reed, I saw you on the bus last week." And Reed's like, laugh. He said, I got to represent Will for Dexter. And he's like, "Yeah, I saw you and my idiot brother."
Oh man, that's
It
why I
is.
love law.
Well, he's got more than one brother. You got to know which one he's talking about.
That's true.
Hey, he was
Well,
funny.
on the show, though, he said, "I saw you and my idiot brother." So Big Brother loves you. Hey, we appreciate you serving over there, Jamie. Tell him thank you.
Thanks for your service.
Oh, man. On my way in this morning, I was thinking, how many deer have y'all hit driving
and I hit
in
this
your
one.
lifetime?
Zero.
One time,
And I hit a deer last night.
Really? Mess her up?
Did you hit a deer today?
I have.
I hit one and it didn't even mess my truck up.
I hit two deer, and a hog hit me. Like I'm riding down 338, and this black hog just comes running out of the woods. Wham! Rams into the side.
Did you see it before it hit you?
Like I seen it coming, but there's nothing I could do. I was running like 65.
There was smoke all in your
Yeah.
face.
Billow in there. So the reason I said that is does it not feel, maybe it's just me, I feel like in my
Glass
mind,
houses.
in my mind, the probability of me hitting a deer is way higher than, like, I feel like every time I'm riding a dark road, I'm gonna hit it. But meanwhile, I've hit one in my entire life. Like, do y'all always feel like this? Because you'll see one.
I never think about it.
Yeah,
See, I wish I did.
feel
I think about it all the
invincible, man.
time.
I feel invincible. I saw 8 on the way here. I didn't get scared a bit.
So
No,
you counted?
one time I was coming down.
Counted them.
Yeah.
I was coming down a bypass, and one of them come up running right beside me, and I was driving down the bypass. He was running beside me down the bypass, and I slowed down a little
Y'all
bit.
racing?
Yeah, I was like, I know he's gonna hit me eventually. So I slowed down, and sure enough, he cut in front of me. I hit him. He spun around, jumped up, and ran off into the woods. I went on to work.
That's
No,
what,
no damage to the truck. No damage to the
Oh,
deer.
Red, riding dirty, baby. Let's go.
That's
And
what.
deer live too.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
really bum.
he may have died after he went off in the woods, but not where I could see.
That's what happened to Anna last night. She was riding. I don't know what road it was on, but she's riding, and she said, "Deer just come out, hit the side of her car, knocked the mirror off, spun around, ran off in the woods."
Got him.
I smoked one last year. I mean, it damaged the whole front of my truck. I hit him pretty good, and he went about 30 yards that way after I hit him and didn't move.
He lay down.
He was done. Yeah, it was
I
a
should be
wrap
running
on
this
contact.
weekend. And it ain't rut this week.
It depends. You can't tell.
Hit or miss.
People are saying he's chasing. That we saw a bunch last week. We got a picture from Jay. Had him laid out.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jason turned to an avid hunter now. If y'all didn't know him, he hunts.
Well, he knows some avid hunters. And he
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
and
a dove hunter.
them
you got to
Nick's
put on.
boys.
You got to put on a good game like this guy. Just get you some urban camouflage. just for opening day of dove season.
I wear it more places now.
Listen, Adam has been mocked because of hunting so many times in his life.
He brought a pistol to
He
the
came
opening day
hunting
of
with
dove
us. He came. He came hunting with us one time. We were growing up. We see deer out in front of where he's sitting, just walking all over the place safely. We get down there to where he's at. He's laid out at the bottom of the tree, laying asleep beside his gun.
That's
Well,
a
it's
fact.
At least you got out to stand.
This was after a ball game on Friday night.
Yeah, Saturday morning, the
Yeah,
next day.
I know, and I was tired.
The
Y'all
the first deer I ever killed, we were in Butler. It was the day after Thanksgiving. It was a tiny deer. My brother Rob threw it over his shoulder to carry it out of the woods. But like a dog. But I was like, I used to fall asleep, but I wouldn't get out the stand. I just fall asleep up in the stand.
We didn't have a stand.
I
we were
was-
just
I
sitting
was-
at the base of a tree there.
Yeah.
Mama bought me a seatbelt, but before I got my little seatbelt, so I fall asleep in the stand, and
Mama looking out for baby boy.
I got to leaning one
Safety
way.
first.
The stand wasn't tied to the tree real good. Something startled me. A deer walked up on me. It startled me. It woke me up, and I'm looking. The deer's like right there. So I went to get the gun, and I was leaning over in the stand. The stand just wrapped around the tree. I fell out the stand, and this stupid deer never. This is why I said deer ain't near as smart as hunters make them out to be. This deer never moved. Just stared at me like, look
Well,
at this idiot right here.
That's exactly what they
He felt
knew
very
that idiot
safe.
wasn't going to bother him. Yeah.
I got up on one knee, shot him. He ran off. I hit him in the back, and he ran a little bit, stopped, looked at me again, like, you idiot. Shot him again. I shot him like 4 times.
Never killed him.
I finally killed him.
What speaking of Jay and hunting, I went hunting with him one time. I would say we were in college, but I was in college, and
He was college age.
yeah, and we were hunting the same property, but he was in a different spot, and so this mama doe and 2 little baby does come out underneath my stand. I could have shot any one of them, but they were scrawny, like you could see ribs, and they were little. Well, they go off through the woods towards Jay's stand, and not 3-4 minutes later, I hear pow, pow, pow. This dude's been shot 3 times. Like, I wonder if he hit any of those. Well, anyway, we sat there and we go down. It's Travis Pattisall's with us, D. Mullis. We go over there, and Jay's like, "Man, I'm telling you, I shot it right there." He's pointing at the edge of the field, right? He said, "I shot that one deer right there." And we got our trucks lined up with lights on, and we're trying to find these deer. Can't find them anywhere. Can't find them. Next day, we go back out there. 3 deer laying in the middle of the field. He thought it was one deer. He thought he was shooting at the same deer every time. He didn't know he'd killed any of them.
If I remember right, y'all have been told,
That's good,
don't
huh?
shoot anything but a big buck.
Yeah. D was trying to manage the property over there, and he just killed Bambi 3 times and didn't even know where they were.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, if you're watching, make sure you subscribe on our YouTube page, or if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, be sure to follow us on there. Go look at TV35 in Dublin, their Facebook page. There's a poll for the local athletes, football players, and you can vote position by position. We've had over 3,000 people participate in it, so We want to see who you think the best at each position was. Mr. Ron Deal and them over at TV35 are planning like a banquet for these and a dinner for these kids. So be sure to take your time and go on there and vote. You can find that on TV35 Facebook page or our Facebook page as well. So I have we were talking about a little bit before off air a little bit, but Height, you can lead us out right here just with the Harbaugh stuff that went on, the suspended for the last, I think it's just games, right, of the regular season. So 2 more games after this past Saturday. What are your thoughts on that suspension?
I think that it's not enough. Last time we discussed it, and I went and looked up the rules, and it
you got a rule now?
11.1.1 or is 11.1.2? I can't remember exactly what it was.
11.6. Scouting of opponents.
So what an Article B?
And so it was definitely against the rules. And here's my thing. It's against the rules, but he claims he didn't know anything about it. But everybody have seen video evidence of that dude telling the coordinator, hey, it's going to that side, and everybody on the sideline yelling, hey, it's going over there, it's going over there. If you're the head coach on the sideline and you know why, I want to know why are you telling the defense it's going over there? How do you know it's going over there? He
because he's a good football coach.
No.
You've never worked with like high school coaches ever?
Listen,
that could,
as important as
predict
if you're here's the thing, if you're calling a defensive play, right, so you've got an idea of what to do. Your guys have responsibilities. And now you're telling them, don't worry about what we called. Just go over there. Play's going over there. Now, I remember I worked with a guy that would, on Friday nights, we would have plays called, and then this one coach, I won't say who it is, would then tell his outside linebackers to blitz even though they weren't supposed to blitz.
Never.
And that didn't always work out well
I've
for us.
never done that. That's a lie.
Never.
Erroneous.
Never.
And so, anyway, back to the point.
When did I do that? I would like to know, since you pointed at me like I did that. I would like to know when I did.
I can't remember the exact date, but we can fact check it with Gabe Gay and some others. But
I'll dive into that later. I'll do some research on that.
Anyway, but Jim Harbaugh had to know what was going on. He knew. He had plausible deniability, and that's it. And there's a slap on the wrist, and I think he should be suspended the rest of the season, and they should have to forfeit games.
Well, I think here's what's up for discussion right now is the fact that they are issuing this suspension before the conclusion of the investigation by the NCAA. That's what Michigan's filing the injunctions about, is that they haven't been allowed, quote unquote, due process by the investigation, and that they shouldn't be issuing judgments prior to the conclusion of the investigation. So there may be more punishment by the NCAA. This is by the Big Ten, not by the NCAA. So who knows how it's going to end up?
Don't it get kind of hairy, though, because the Big Ten commissioner is the AD at a Big Ten school, right? So you just feel like, I mean, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it done. I think the investigation does need to finish, but like I feel like there could be some I don't really
conflict of interest.
Yeah, like hey, we're gonna get together. You're really good. We're gonna suspend. We're gonna do this, or we're gonna go ahead and do that, because it directly impacts those coaches.
But here's the thing: anytime somebody gets in trouble for something, let's say one of us at school got in trouble for something, like let's say it was law, they would suspend him. He would be suspended either with or without pay until the conclusion of the investigation. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
But Jim Harbaugh, because money's involved, and because Michigan wants to try to keep winning.
That would be like me getting in trouble, though, and then suspending DeWanna. I mean, the guy that got in trouble is the guy that got in trouble. Until they can prove Harbaugh's involved in it, why is Harbaugh in trouble?
Well, every time there's a recruiting violation, the coach ends up getting in trouble.
Institutional
Because
control.
he's the head recruiter. The head coach is the head recruiter.
Well, the head coach is also the head coach, who's responsible for the action.
There's no proof he sent that guy to do that. Now, the AD could have done it.
It doesn't matter if he sent
The
that guy.
defensive coordinator could have done it.
I was listening to Rick and Bubba's kickoff hour yesterday morning. They were all adamant that they thought it was too soon
Exactly.
They jumped the gun on it because the investigation's not final. And
I agree.
so I mean, I get that side of it for sure. Do I think he knows what's going on? Sure, I do,
100%.
But
And then
at the
like
same
game time, it's a game time decision. The day of the game that
Yeah,
we're going
like
to suspend
minutes
you.
before.
Yeah.
I think the
You're
interesting,
suspended. You can't go
the
out
interesting
there.
part about this topic is that assistant coach bawling his eyes out after that game, being so fired up.
Weird. It was
I'm
like
gonna tell you what,
It was really
if
emotional.
it comes down and they're not right, they don't do it. They were like, all right, we're sorry, my bad. Dude, you talking about fuel to the fire? Dude, Michigan's fired up in the locker room, man, and there still are every week now. They're playing for Harbaugh,
Tell you who they won't beat.
like they were earlier in the season.
They still don't want them dogs up.
Man, watching Georgia Saturday, my goodness. Shout out to my boy Chad Jump for the great seats. They had seat backs and everything. It was good.
Comfy.
That was a messy mess.
It really didn't get bad.
We wrestled at Madison County, which is a sweet school, by the way. It's on the way to Athens from here. Mm-hmm. I know you go by it on the way there.
You can actually see it on the road from the left, right? On the left.
So they had a playoff game Friday night, and then we wrestled
That's
Saturday.
Morgan County.
Morgan County. That's it. Morgan County. In Madison. That's what I'm thinking of. They had a playoff game Friday night, and then they wrestled early Saturday morning. Sweet campus. It's almost like
nice.
It's like a smaller version of Jefferson. Like it's nice. The gym, everything. I mean, it was a great tournament.
You know who built that?
Y'all did? Paris built it?
Construction.
Shout out Paris Construction.
It's nice. That football facility, top notch.
Man, Brock Bowers. Dude is unreal.
I couldn't believe that he played so much.
couldn't either.
I was like, get him out of the game. We're up by 28.
Then I felt like I saw him hobbling after one play
Yeah.
too, and I'm like,
But I read that
So
basically
it's gonna
once
be a
you have
little
that
hot.
thing, you can't really hurt yourself any worse.
So now he's like Iron Man. I mean, he's probably went in and did both of them while he was in there,
Just to be safe.
just to be safe. All right, guys, we got a lot of football stuff to talk about. A lot of headlines going on right now. So if you'll stay with us after this commercial break, you can hear from our sponsors, and then we will discuss a little more. We will be right back. For all of your commercial and residential real estate needs, give Premier Properties of Dublin a call at 478-274-1606. Their customer service is unmatched, and they'll give you the deal that you want. Again, that's Premier Properties of Dublin at 478-274-1606. Title sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
J2 Streaming Services. With over 9,000 live channels and packages starting at $15 per month, you literally can't beat it. Visit them on the web at www.j2streaming.com. Proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Beep. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
Elite Comfort Solutions. Based out of Lyons, Georgia, they specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. Call them today at 833-483-HVAC or visit them at www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com for a quote. Elite Comfort Solutions is a proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Is your house dumb dirty? Caked up mud all up in the driveway? Too much to clean and too little time? Give Sweet Onion City Exterior Wash a call at 912-326-1615 for a free quote today. Sweet Onion City Exterior Wash is a proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Are you riding around the 478 or the 912 with a vehicle that is as ugly, dirty, and smelly as height? If so, head on over to Big Peach Car Wash, located across from Walmart on Highway 80 in Dublin, Georgia.
Getting ready for a weekend with friends? Be sure to visit Blackshear Beverage with two locations, one at Georgia 300 and the other at Highway 280 in Cordele, Georgia. Blackshear Beverage, proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by Premier Properties. We've got arguments going on off air, typical law, getting emotional law.
No, it's because people remember things different than the way they happen, and then they exaggerate what they're talking about. Well, my first year on the east side, I coached for an idiot that was high almost every game. All right, that our head coach hired.
We don't talk about it.
And again, no, we are going to talk about it because I want you to know, as a coach, I've never changed play calls for the guys I'm coaching. Never done that.
Except
I have
for those
told them
times that you did.
in situations. All right, the same thing as when Whitney Allagood coached linebackers at West Lawrence under McLean. In situations when a quarterback does something, opens up your way, something we see, we change scheme on the sideline. But I've never told my linebackers to blitz when the defensive coordinator called in another play. I've never done that.
All right,
Never.
put a bow on it. Good job. All righty. So, Jimbo Fisher What are your thoughts on him out at A&M with the $76 million? And I saw the layout of it the other day where they're going to pay him like X amount by this time, and then over the next 5 or 6 years, he's getting like $7 million or something a year.
You think him and Coach O get together and start playing golf?
Man, that sounds like
Just walking up and down the beaches.
Does he coach again?
But Jim,
Not as a head coach, I don't think.
Does he find a TV job somewhere, or is he just kind of ease on?
He's a good coordinator.
I don't think
though.
anybody wants him. On
He
TV.
was a good coordinator.
Have you ever listened to him talk?
I think he'll coach
You
somewhere.
ever
I
listen
think
to
somebody
Dan
will hire him.
Mullen talk? They got him on TV.
Yeah, well, he's an idiot.
Shocker.
Everybody's
how,
an idiot.
How
Everybody's
often
an
does Height throw that word out?
That's about 12 today.
That's only number 2
It's a
today.
cool dozen. A 2.
Yeah.
A Baker's,
I can think of 3 because Opie was 1. You called him 1.
Yeah, and then he called me one, and then I called
those
Jimbo one,
canceled.
so that's 2.
So they canceled. Oh man. So, what do you think he does? First off, what do you think he does? And 2, who do you think A&M will hire? I've got a hot take on that, by the way. Super hot.
I mean, I don't know who they've got. I've heard Lane Kiffin is on the radar. I've heard Lane
Man,
Kiffin.
that was my hot take. I have not heard that.
Lane's
I told
always
Rogers
on
that
the-
yesterday.
Lane's
I said I
always
think
on
he'll
the-
go
He got my ear
because
to the ground.
Because he goes where the money is.
I told Rogers yesterday, I said, super hot take here. I said, I think Lane Kiffin goes there strictly because he's been good every year at Ole Miss, but they just can't be good enough. And he'll go there, and there's money, you a lot of resources that Ole Miss probably don't have. So
If
can
I
see
was
that.
Ole Miss, I wouldn't want to hire him because of any other
were A&M?
opportunity. Or A&M. If I was A&M, I wouldn't want to hire him because where any opportunity where more money pops up, Lane Kiffin's going.
I don't think you're going to get a whole lot more money than A&M. They're paying
He's just
some
not
guy
committed
$70 million
to anybody.
to not do anything. 10 years, he said.
I believe the Oregon coach is going there.
I think
Lane?
the guy from Washington is going.
I could see that.
The boy.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good fit for him. The defensive guy, Georgia guy.
you talking about Lane?
Did y'all hear Lanning's little speech they had on the game day Saturday?
No.
Man,
Yeah,
He-
when he had him up at
I
practice.
like it.
he's got a lot of riz, as they say.
I read
As
something
the
the other day
kids
too.
is.
The current defense coordinator for Georgia,
Glenn Schumann.
Schumann, I believe he's in like the top 10 of
Yeah, I'm
people.
gonna hate to see him go.
Yep.
I like him.
So he's a name that. So the names that I've seen are DeBoer, the guy that's the guy coach from Washington, Lanning, Schumann, Elko, Norvell, and Kiffin.
But there was a couple of
wish
NFL
Norvell would go.
guys that played there. There was a couple of NFL guys that played there. NFL coaches. I seen their names stirred up. I can't remember their names though. But they were A&M guys. They both one of them played tight end for A&M, and I think the other one played defensive back. I seen their
Some people have been saying Dion, but I don't think that.
No.
I don't think that's
It's too early.
Yeah.
He's got to prove himself there. Now I believe once he proves himself at Colorado, he's candy bar at the door.
Well, they are reeling.
Oh yeah.
Reeling.
I think they're winning. They what are they?
I mean,
4 and 6.
He's still going to take this year as a win, though. I mean, they
were only
they
projected to
one
win.
game last year,
They were projected to win 3 this year. They won 4.
right? And his son is still in the top 4 and overall passing yards. I think.
Yeah, he's really good. They've got some good skill players, but they don't have any big guys.
Dion don't even know his O-lineman's name.
My next question, guys.
They don't
Moving
deserve
on.
it.
Who give me 4 Heisman finalists? And is Carson Beck one of those?
So right
Table's
now
open.
he's listed at number 5 for the odds. So you got Bo Nix,
I love this.
Michael Penix.
Laws, Michael
Jaden
Penix.
Daniels.
I
I think Jaden Daniels.
Because
is
I'm the
4.
only one that brought him up.
well, I had Jaden Daniels in there.
Jaden
about-
Daniels was my Heisman winner.
How about Marvin
still
Marvin
believe
Harrison
still-
Jr.?
Yes.
I don't. He's not even the top receiver in college football. How was he in the talks?
Who is?
The LSU receiver has more yards than him.
Neighbors or whatever? Is it Neighbors?
Neighbors.
Something like that.
I think it's hard to say that anybody's having more of an impact on the games than Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, he's
is
got a
the-
quarterback
I mean,
this young. If he had Jalen Daniels throwing to him,
I want to pull up my preseason
So,
because nobody's going to go back.
so
to preseason,
he-
so.
to,
Well, we know
to Chuck's
you
question.
had-
To Chuck's question, Penix, Nix. I feel like I feel like Carson Beck should be in the mix.
Yeah, I had Beck at number 2 on the season.
And then
On my preseason pick.
um,
I'm just telling you I'm a good picker.
Jaden Daniels, not in that order. I would say
Why is Jordan Travis not up there?
he would be 5.
All right.
My dad's big Marvin Harrison for Heisman.
Really?
Yeah,
Has a wideout ever won it? No, I don't think so. I don't know.
couldn't tell you.
Certainly they have.
I got Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels will win it. I got Jaden Daniels, I believe.
You don't think Penix will win it?
Penix is up there between him and Penix. Carson Beck and Jordan Travis.
No Bo
The
Nix?
thing is, I think if Washington loses a game, Penix will be out just because of that.
Well, I can't wait to the fix because I
You know-
think this might be the week.
They are not favored to win right now. They're getting a
I
point.
saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting a point.
At Oregon State, right? We'll talk about that in a little bit when we get to our picks. But that brings me to another before we get our guest picker on in a little bit. But Rogers had a comment in our group text of the Douche Nation group text that when we were talking about when Georgia was playing, I just said McConkey's a dude. Like, he's a dude. And his exact words were, and I wish he was here, he wouldn't touch the field in Florida State's wide receiver room. Thoughts? Now, they do have some good receivers, but this guy is.
So they got a bunch of really tall, big guys that are outside receivers. McConkey's an inside slot receiver. There's room.
Yeah.
But he said Keon Coleman. That was word for what he said. He wouldn't touch.
So what they got 5 guys that would be on the field, and McConkey would be 6 or 7 for them, because I know at least 4 or 5 guys play receiver in some type of rotation for them.
Even if you went 3, I mean, outside of Keon Coleman and the big tall kid that they have,
Y'all know what I think about that and that comment and the person who said that comment?
starts with I.
He's an idiot.
Yeah,
There's a baker's
but
dozen,
that's
right?
understood. Everybody knows.
I think that comes from a place of little brother.
Yeah, he's super jealous of where Georgia's at, and
I would be too. I don't blame him.
I mean, who isn't? Yeah, what's not to be jealous of, really?
Next tire from looking up.
So, yeah. Any more college football talk? Y'all got anything on the radar before we see who our Brian Subs winner is this
You
week?
think McConkey goes high in the draft?
I think he's
In the
first,
first round. Second
I
round.
think he's a second, third round pick.
He'd be a decent slot in the NFL, I believe.
Dude, even just when he gets the ball in his hand like that catch he made when Beck underthrew it a little bit, and then he's just like, and them DBs are just falling all over the place. I mean,
Well, he avoids contact pretty well.
He's a good route runner. I mean,
Yeah, he is.
I think he'd be a great slot.
Yep.
How about the freshman linebacker, Allen?
CJ Allen.
What a
heck of
day.
game.
Man.
It was different. I know Dumas Johnson's probably a great leader and a great example, and he runs things out that maybe calls plays really well, but he is not fast.
No.
And that C.J. Allen was hiking them down.
Yeah, and he's bringing a little bit when he comes to. He ain't just.
So early in the game with probably a little nerves going on there, but
He reminded me of
I
what
like
a
it.
Georgia linebacker is
supposed to
typically.
be. That's
out
right.
there.
Could he be? Do you see him? Because I do. I honestly do, and I know it's just based off of that one game. But he's played well all year, and he's got all the intangibles, and
he's just a freshman.
Top 10 NFL pick.
If we're playing, whoa.
That's what I'm calling
Wow.
the next like Roquan.
He may be if he can get it together. I mean, it's a long way to go.
Fire off another
But
one, Chill.
If you're,
We
heard it here first.
We hot over
Hey,
here.
Hey, I got one.
If-
4 Pete dogs. 4 Pete.
if we're playing Alabama in the SEC championship and you got Milrose and you got a linebacker spying him, who would you rather have, Allen or Dumas Johnson?
Allen.
Allen.
Somebody that can run with him.
I think that's what hurts Dumas. I just
Speaking of SEC
Dumas
championship
pretty
game,
good downhill.
got my tickets lined up and ready to go.
Somebody.
No, I bought these. I signed up on a waiting list and got called a couple weeks ago. Got my tickets. Just put them in my Apple Wallet yesterday.
Turn up. All right. So here
Nose will be bleeding up.
leads me to my next question. Florida State undefeated went out,
I think they're going to lose to Louisville in the.
but hypothetically, Florida State undefeated went out. Washington undefeated went out. Ohio State / Michigan undefeated went out. Georgia loses the SEC championship. What do you do?
Alabama's in.
Georgia's out.
That's what they did to Alabama last year. Well, except they wasn't in the SEC championship.
Well-
but they had one loss.
So not at all.
They had one loss. Alabama had one loss, and they got booted out because they didn't play in the game in their conference championship.
Let's go even further. Let's say it's a 3-point
Saban
game.
fussed about is like he didn't understand why they didn't get in.
All right, let's go. Let's say it's a 3-point game. It's a close game. Georgia loses. So, that committee sitting here right now, cheering for Georgia throughout the rest of this year as hard as they can. But that's a realistic possibility of what could happen, and I hope it don't. But
you know who has the weakest schedule out of those 5?
Georgia.
Undefeated Florida State.
I don't know what they would do. I don't know what.
Does it go off of what they were ranked when you beat them?
Probably how they.
No, I think it's
Well, at that point in the year when it's all that close, it just comes down to the committee and what they decide. That they
So like Florida State beat LSU, and LSU was ranked high one.
isn't it
Yeah, but-
FBI? Isn't FBI
is it Football Power Index? I think is what it stands for. But
at the end of the year?
yeah,
At
so,
the end of the year.
and so LSU at this point has what 3-4 losses.
3 losses.
So I could see
They
like
beat Clemson. Who,
I wouldn't be
Not
all
playing
that surprised if FSU got put out because they do have a super weak conference.
Clemson had 4 losses.
Yeah.
That's just going to be somebody's going to be upset. I mean, if that happens, and
Well, Texas has got 1 loss. Also, Oregon has 1 loss.
I saw
lot
a bunch of people predicted Texas in the Final Four.
this would be a fun year for that expanded
Oh yeah,
playoff bracket this year because there's a handful of good teams up there.
If there's nothing I would love more than for FSU to go undefeated and be left out.
man,
My gosh.
That would be fun.
yeah, they.
Oh man, I would love that. And then Raji would owe me that C note, and then he wouldn't want to give it to me because they went undefeated.
I feel like if Washington beats Oregon State, they should jump FSU and be in the 4 right now.
Oregon State?
You think he would
If
declare?
they beat Oregon State.
You think he would declare?
Oh,
them
if
national
Washington-
If Washington beats
champions
Oregon
on his own? Like UCF did that.
He's
stuff?
getting banners printed out.
Man, well, we'll see. Let's
I just don't.
maybe Georgia
I
handle
was-
business and
A good recap.
I kept
Yeah.
thinking that
Let's see.
Georgia was like, like right on the verge of maybe not being the best team anymore. But then after watching them play Saturday, I just don't think it's even close. I think I think that we're going to boat race everybody through this thing.
Well, I mean, what a swing of emotions on one game.
I know it.
Let's
Jeez
not be
Louise.
so emotional about
Hey, listen.
I mean, the whole
listen,
panel had them not
Listen.
covering last week,
Listen.
minus me.
Okay, my take means nothing. Kirby's got them guys. They don't listen. Well, some of them may listen to the show, but no, they don't.
it. I know we all agree on one thing. Your take means nothing.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Affirmative
go.
on that.
Thank you. So I'm allowed
right.
to say whatever I want.
Before we take our last commercial break and get our guest picker on the phone and make our picks, let's see who our Brian Subs winner is. And I took the time, found a random name generator this week, entered everybody's name. By the way, the Brian Subs post on Facebook this week went ballistic. And appreciate Brian Subs for the popularity because we picked up a little over 50 followers on Facebook just from that post of people sharing it. Because part of you getting
1
in.
week,
Part of getting in is you have to like the.
we made them on.
We made it. Our goal's 1,000. We're a little over 700, so our goal's
When
1,000.
we start getting paid big,
Never.
I might
How about any?
I
Not
might
big.
show up on time when we start
Residuals.
getting paid big.
Residuals.
All
I
right,
don't know
so
about that.
the random.
when can I
Pretty sure
quit
you
my
get paid
job?
to drive a bus. You don't get time for that.
When do I need to turn in my 2-week notice?
The winner of this week's Brian Subs is Renee Walker.
And golf clap.
That was a loud
That
clap.
was allowed.
So,
golf clap.
Renee Walker is this week's winner. Congratulations. Be sure to go by Brian Subs and get that half sub courtesy of Brad Meeks and the gang over there. We are grateful for their sponsorship and them doing that. So at this time, we're going to take our last commercial break. On the other side of this, we've got our special guest caller calling in. So stay with us. We will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show brought to you by Premier Properties of Dublin. We are here. It is time for our guest picks. We have a special guest caller this morning on the phone. And when you think of this guy, you think Bus first, loyal Bus listener, fan of the show, but you also think Bank of Dudley, and that is Mr. Bank of Dudley himself, Josh Cruz. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chill. Appreciate it.
We should be hit the round of applause button for Cruz.
Well, it's kind of loud, man.
There it is.
Super loud.
This must say
He deserves it.
He's
Now
sucking
everybody
up to
turn
his
your
bank.
radios back up.
Speaking of our sponsors, they're giving away free money at the Bank of Dudley. Free money.
You like Trump when you said that, money.
Yeah, free monies.
So, Josh, appreciate you coming on this morning. We are going to discuss 5 games. You've already sent me over your picks. Looks like a good list. Tough week last week for Mr. Weed Waldrop. Mr. Reed Waldrop coming in at an astounding 2-8. So that's going to put him at current dead last in the standings at 9th place. So tough day for him.
I went to console
Good
him
thing he's a
yesterday.
good principal.
Yeah, I went to console him. I said, listen, man, you're good at everything else. You can't be good at this too. Okay? Just keep your head up.
You got to leave that to professionals. So Raji is on top at 58, 51-1. Height had a big week, catapulted above Law to 54, 53-1. Law's in third at 52, 57-1, and Chill holding that bottom at 50, 59-1. So
Did y'all make me go 0-10?
no, you went. You did have a no pick. You didn't pick one game, the Alabama game. So we gave you an L on that.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
You sent us 9 games on that show, on that thing. You
It's
sent me.
10. It was numbered to 10.
No, it was not.
Yeah, and one of them was blank.
Yeah.
And I believe we picked the Alabama game on the air.
No, we didn't.
Either way, Law, you lost. It's okay. You're in third place. Just get over it. All right.
It's all right.
Opie,
Phone call would have been nice.
Never
Law.
wrong.
No, we texted him.
no, we texted.
I was at
Yeah.
a wrestling tournament.
All right.
Some people are busy working.
You're a
on
work
Saturdays.
first guy.
Man, it's hard to get anything done on this show.
That's why I quit coaching varsity wrestling, because of my podcast.
All right, Opie, start us off right here. We've got Louisville on the road at Miami. Louisville -1.5. And Louisville's playing well.
Was anybody else shocked by 1.5? Louisville's the number 11 team in the country.
Yes, I'm shocked by that.
Miami has like 3 or 4 losses.
And their coach is an idiot.
And Miami's not a tough place to play.
1.5 points.
coaches.
I'm like Jeremy on our wedding
made
night.
one
I'm
bad
left
decision.
wondering why it's so small. Why is that spread so small?
That's not very
I've got
kid
Louisville.
friendly.
I've
That's
got
not very
Louisville.
kid friendly.
Why not?
Wow, rating.
Why not? Why not? Is that
It was in the delivery. Okay, you did warn us. It's all in delivery.
First of all, I highly enjoyed that. I highly enjoyed that.
We're going to have to put a special notation by this episode.
Parental advisory.
that's on the list of things Jeremy did not say on the wedding night.
All right, so who are you taking? I didn't even hear the pick.
It doesn't matter. Louisville.
We need Opie on here more often. I love it.
Hi, who you got?
I'll take Louisville.
I got Louisville as well. I think Miami's not very good, and I think Louisville could potentially beat Florida State in the AC championship. So, Law,
I got Louisville
Cruz.
also.
Well, did a little bit of research.
There we
Miami
go.
has the best run defense in the ACC. However, Louisville has that running back Jordan that will change that this week going Louisville.
Louisville big. I like it. All right, we'll go ahead and jump right to, we'll stay in the order of the games being played. We've got height. We'll start with you. Georgia -10 at Tennessee.
Dogs by 50.
So, coming off last week when y'all doubted them now.
They did doubt him.
What you mean they?
I picked Georgia.
On air, you
I
did.
picked. Yes, I did.
On air, he picked Ole Miss, but on his thing, he
Yes.
sent Georgia.
I picked.
No, you didn't. I was the
Georgia.
only one on the air that picked Georgia.
But I put you down as Georgia, though.
Yeah, because I picked Georgia.
Yeah, you did on your.
Pretty sure I picked Georgia.
You didn't.
I made the comment that Georgia had never beat Lane Kiffin. Is what my comment.
You
was.
picked Ole Miss last week
I'll
on
go
the
back. And
show.
watch it.
I know you
I'll go
will.
back and watch it again.
Opie,
And when I do, I'll be right.
hold on. Everybody get ready. Opie.
Just regular picks here.
Okay.
So I was also surprised it was only 10 here. I know they're playing at Neyland, but Tennessee is not playing
It's
well.
always tough, though. Tough opponent.
I agree. But Tennessee's really low after losing to Missouri. Georgia's really high after beating down Ole Miss. So that makes me a little nervous for a little bit of a letdown. But I still think I just can't imagine them losing or winning by less than 10. So I'm going to go Georgia. Dogs by 50.
That was by 50. Did you already make a pick, Law?
Yeah, Georgia.
Okay, I got Georgia as well. Cruz.
Georgia wins big.
So Georgia has the largest win margin in the SEC at 25. Next coming in LSU at 17, and then Bama at 15.5. Back in 2017, UGA went to Tennessee as a 10-point favorite. You know what the final score was? Georgia 41-0, going Dogs all the way.
I love it.
It's so nice to have somebody else on the show that does research.
I'm just glad his are PG. Thank you, Cruz.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank you, Cruz.
Hey, I'm living to Opie's. I'm
There's
living to Opie's standard.
There's not a single word you have to bleep out on that. I don't.
I don't. I agree. I agree. I
I've
love
heard,
the joke.
I've heard Law say
it hit home.
the
It hit
actual
home.
word. I don't know.
It was excellent. It was excellent. Joke.
All right, Law. Kansas State Who would have thought preseason that Kansas and Kansas State would be playing a ranked game? Kansas State minus 7.5 at Kansas.
I like Kansas. Kansas beat Oklahoma. I think they're having a good year. Their offense is really good. I think it's going to be a really high-scoring game, but I like Kansas.
Oh,
I got Kansas at home. It's a rivalry game. A lot of crowd noise. I'm going Kansas. What was the line? Didn't they pick Kansas State to win that game? Yeah,
Kansas State's over a touchdown favorite, yeah.
What's the spread on this again, Chuck?
7.5.
Minus 7.5. I've got Kansas as well at home. I think, like Opie said, a rivalry game. I think they could lose by a touchdown. That half point could bail them out.
I take Kansas State.
K-State. All right, Cruz.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So Kansas could be down their third string quarterback, and Kansas State has senior quarterback Will Howard. I think Kansas State covers this one.
Oh, I want to change.
He did a little more research than I did. I didn't know that.
And Kansas coming off a loss to Texas Tech. So
that is correct.
They're going to be out up. Them Jayhawks.
It just makes me giggle. It feels like every time I ask Hyde a game, he's hearing it for the first time.
Like, what?
He's like, what? What game? Game?
What's special about this game?
But you know what it is? My mind is racing. I got so many things going on in this big old head of mine that it's hard for me
He's
to.
worried Opie's going to give him the business on another one of these picks.
Oh, all right.
Hey, Adam was supposed to call me Monday afternoon. You know when that joker called me to get on the show at midnight last night?
Hi.
What?
So I've been up all night trying to research.
Oh,
No.
I texted him yesterday morning if he was going to take care of it. He said, I got you.
I think that loan's going in default.
One thing I love about Cruz, he's just an honest guy. I always tells the truth.
One thing I know about Adam is he is responsible. I don't believe that for a second. He would never.
I appreciate you being upfront and honest with everything the way you are, Cruz.
Oh, all right. Opie, start us off right here. I can't wait to hear this. Washington, not the favorite, getting 1 point on the road at Oregon State.
Another surprising line. We were talking about that off air. Oregon State plays really good defense, runs the ball well, and does not turn the ball over. Adam, it's like the advice I gave you when you went off to college. Stay away from those Huskies. I'm going Oregon State.
You were speaking from personal experience. You were always embracing the Huskies when you were
Big women
making
need loving too.
You got,
I'll take Washington.
I got Oregon State. I'm assuming I ain't paid no attention. I'm assuming DJ, whatever his uncle, is still playing there, so I like him. Oregon State at home. Go Beavers.
I like Oregon State to win here too. I think
Go
it's a
ahead,
big close game.
go ahead and shake up the college football playoff picture a little more.
Right.
I'd love to see it, but
It's going to help. It's going to help Florida State out a little bit when Washington gets that loss.
What you got, Cruz?
Oregon State has won once in the last decade against Washington, and that was 2 years ago. However, it will not happen again this week. Going with Washington.
He's going with the Huskies. He likes
And
Huskies.
Michael Penix Jr.
It's hard not to just believe him when he says it like that. He's so
I know.
sure.
I want to change all my picks.
Golly, Cruz.
Made me feel bad about my little research that I did.
All right, Mitch, start us off. Texas -8 at Iowa State.
I got why in the piss is that in the top 5?
What would you have put in there, Law? What would you have put in there?
I got
Utah,
Texas
Arizona, hold on.
winning, but
Utah,
Iowa
Arizona-
State covers.
Utah, Arizona, no. Michigan, Maryland, no. Maybe North Carolina, Clemson, but Florida, Missouri, nah. Kentucky, South Carolina, nah.
he did nothing to
Texas.
help you prepare for any of this. But then he shows up, and
I
then
know.
he
Yeah.
didn't even know what games we were talking about right now, and he's like,
Yes, I did. I got all 10 picks.
Now he's going to send them later. He'll send them about 3:30 on Saturday.
I'll send them.
claim they've
I'll
been
send them
locked
to
in.
you right now. They're
Change
I don't
three
want
of
the
them.
notes.
because you're being a
Don't send them in notes form. Then I have to open up the notes. Just send them like everybody else.
I'm sending them in.
That's fine. I'm good with 0 for 10.
I
That's
love
easy.
when we
0 for
talk
10.
Microsoft Office on the show.
0 for 10.
Great.
All right.
I got Iowa State covers. Texas wins.
Okay.
All right, Quinn Ewers is back, but their running back is hurt. I had Texas winning until I found out about the running back. They're going to have a freshman starting. I'm going to go Iowa State with the points.
With the points.
Iowa State.
With the points, or are you calling upset?
Not points.
I'll take Texas. I think Texas covers. I think Texas got a lot to play for, potentially backdooring into the college football playoff. So I'll take Texas to cover. Cruz?
So the last 5 games, Iowa State has scored at least 21 points, and Texas has scored at least 29 every game this year. Iowa State is 10th in the country in turnover margin at +9. I think that it's going to be a high-scoring game, but going with Iowa State. But Texas does win, but going with Iowa State.
Yeah.
So nobody, all of y'all picking Iowa State. Nobody's calling the upset.
They ain't back. They ain't back.
Nobody's calling the upset. Okay, I thought it could happen. I wanted to be one of y'all to say I called it. Nobody's going to take that shot.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, Cruz, you got any closing thoughts, man? We appreciate you getting up this morning, taking time.
Man, it is an honor to be on here. It was like Christmas morning. I could not go to sleep last night. Just could not wait to get on this show this morning.
Especially after that late phone call I gave you.
maybe that's why.
Hey, and there's some rumblings. We can't disclose a lot, but there's some rumblings about a potential title sponsor coming down the line. So,
hey, I'm getting on the bus. It is going viral.
all right, Cruz, thank you, man. We appreciate
Thanks, buddy.
you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care.
See you. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up. I've got a text from Mitch right now. I see that he sent his picks in, so he won't be the last
I
one.
sent it in twice.
Thank you. On notes, both of them on notes. I
No.
won't open them if there are.
You'll open them and you'll like it.
Okay. Oh, wrong one. Oh. Did that last week, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Every week.
Did not learn though.
Just random
Yeah.
ish, but
All right, Hype, bring us home.
yeah.
Hey, be sure to give us a
Wow.
follow, a subscription, a like,
Yeah.
a share on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube.
Ooh, yes, here we go. We
Law.
hopped up on that bus. Bert, chill, Hyatt, Roger, and Law. We crushing.
Hope you got any closing thoughts.
I don't know.
Donations. Don't forget donations.
Yeah, we are taking money. So sponsorships rolling around in January. Be ready for a phone call from the bus team.
Clear your budget. Give us all of it.
Save us a little bit. So
that boy
we can-
EMT, yeah, he always.
That's a first. Adam thought better of saying something.
Stop myself right there.
oh man. Hey, we appreciate you listening today. Thank you for subscribing and following us. We do it for you guys. It's all for the people. Wherever you're at today, whatever you're doing, make sure you get up on that bus.
Yeah, they call me Roger, yeah, but sometimes in they cut, they call me Bebo Lottie. We stay with the facts that you know we gon' discuss. Fussing or fighting, yeah, we get up on that bus. Yeah.